Welcome to Dreamy Facts. As the day gently recedes, we invite you to settle into a space of calm contemplation. Tonight, we embark on a journey through the most relaxing facts about coffee, exploring approximately 100 fascinating details that reveal its intricate history, subtle benefits, and profound cultural impact. There is no pressure to remember or retain these details. Instead, let them unfold naturally, inviting your mind to settle into a state of peaceful curiosity. This exploration is designed to be a soothing experience, a gentle current of knowledge flowing without demanding effort or retention. We will observe the quiet origins of this beloved bean, tracing its path from ancient forests to global cups. We will explore the subtle chemical dances within each brew, understanding how it interacts with our senses and our bodies in gentle ways, often providing a sense of comfort rather than just an awakening. The story of coffee is one of quiet discovery, of communities gathering, and of moments of stillness found in the everyday ritual. Each fact is a small window into the vast and interconnected tapestry of coffee's existence, presented in a calm and meditative tone, allowing your thoughts to drift and find stillness. Allow the gentle rhythm of these discoveries to guide you towards a state of relaxation, inviting a sense of wonder and peace as you prepare for rest. We will consider how a simple seed has nurtured creativity, fostered connection, and offered solace across centuries and continents. This journey is an invitation to simply be present with the quiet narrative of coffee, letting its gentle warmth infuse your evening with tranquility, a gentle companion as the world outside softens into night. We will explore the many dimensions that make coffee not just a beverage, but a deeply calming presence in countless lives. If you're finding peace in this journey, a like and subscribe helps us continue creating these restful explorations. And we're always curious. Share in the comments what city and time zone you're watching from. There's something special about knowing this experience is reaching people all over the world as they prepare for rest, forming a quiet global community of peaceful contemplation. As we begin our exploration, we turn our attention to the very first whispers of coffee's existence. We journey back to ancient landscapes, where the story of this comforting beverage quietly unfolded long before it graced cups around the world. We observe the initial encounters that set in motion its remarkable journey. The legend of Caldi and his dancing goats. The journey of coffee begins with a gentle legend, often attributed to the high plateaus of Ethiopia. A goat herder named Caldi reportedly observed his goats exhibiting unusual energy and spirited dancing after consuming bright red berries from a specific shrub. Intrigued, Caldi tasted the berries himself, experiencing a similar sense of invigoration. He shared his findings with a local monastery, where the monks initially dismissed the berries, casting them into a fire. From the embers, a captivating aroma emerged, leading them to collect the roasted beans. They then brewed a drink, finding it helped them remain alert during long hours of prayer. This legendary account, while not scientifically verifiable, is widely recognized as coffee's foundational discovery, linking it to early spiritual focus. Early forms of consumption. In its earliest known forms, coffee was consumed in ways quite different from the liquid beverage we know today. Ancient East African tribes are believed to have mixed crushed coffee berries with animal fat, forming small, energy-dense balls. These portable provisions offered both sustenance and a gentle stimulant, proving valuable for warriors and hunters during long journeys or arduous tasks. Another method involved the fermentation of the coffee cherry's sweet pulp, used to create a wine-like alcoholic beverage. These early practices highlight coffee's initial role as a source of physical vigor and endurance. The transition to roasting the beans and brewing them into a hot drink would evolve gradually, centuries later, marking a significant shift in its cultural application and appreciation. Sufi monks and contemplative focus historical accounts suggest that Sufi mystics in Yemen were among the first to systematically cultivate and consume coffee as a brewed drink. These devout individuals found that the beverage helped them maintain alertness and focus during their extensive nighttime devotions and spiritual rituals. The gentle, stimulating effect of coffee was not sought for mere wakefulness, but as an aid to achieve deeper concentration and prolonged periods of meditation, crucial for their mystical practices. This intentional use of coffee as a tool for spiritual endurance played a significant role in its early adoption and spread throughout the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. It became intertwined with practices of quiet contemplation, fostering a sense of inner peace and heightened awareness. Coffee's journey to Yemen and Arabia. From its ancient Ethiopian origins, coffee's journey across the Red Sea to Yemen marks a pivotal moment. It is believed that traders or Sufi pilgrims brought the beans to the Arabian Peninsula, where the plant found a welcoming new home. Yemen, with its fertile highlands and suitable climate, became the first region where coffee was systematically cultivated on plantations. This shift from wild foraging to deliberate farming allowed for consistent production. The port city of Mocha quickly emerged as the primary hub for this burgeoning coffee trade, establishing a near monopoly on the global supply for centuries. This controlled cultivation transformed coffee from a regional curiosity into a valuable commodity, quietly shaping early global commerce. The rise of the coffee house. As coffee cultivation flourished in the Arabian Peninsula, so too did the concept of the coffee house. These establishments first emerged in cities like Mecca, Cairo, and Damascus, before spreading to the Ottoman capital of Istanbul. Far more than simple beverage vendors, these early coffee houses became vibrant social and intellectual centers. Here, individuals from all walks of life gathered to engage in quiet conversation, listen to poetry, enjoy music, and play games like chess. They served as informal academies, often referred to as schools of the wise, fostering a unique environment for intellectual exchange and public discourse. These spaces provided a calm, neutral ground where ideas could flow freely, establishing coffee's enduring association with community and contemplative thought. The Wine of Araby and early controversy. Despite its growing popularity, coffee's invigorating qualities led to early controversies. In the early 16th century, some religious leaders in Mecca viewed its stimulating effects with suspicion, comparing it to wine, which is forbidden in Islam. This led to a brief ban on coffee in Mecca around 1511. However, such prohibitions were often short-lived or inconsistently enforced, reflecting coffee's deep cultural penetration. Eventually, the Ottoman Sultan Selim I, whose empire encompassed much of the coffee-producing regions, officially sanctioned its consumption. This period of debate highlights the profound impact coffee had on society, ultimately demonstrating its resilience and quiet triumph over initial resistance, securing its place in daily life. Coffee as a catalyst for knowledge and connection. Beyond its individual effects, coffee, particularly through coffee houses, became a quiet catalyst for knowledge and human connection. These serene spaces served as vital hubs for news and information, where merchants, scholars, and travellers exchanged stories and insights. The gentle hum of conversation and the shared ritual of drinking coffee fostered an environment conducive to intellectual discourse and the formation of public opinion. Unlike the often boisterous atmosphere of taverns, coffee houses offered a calm, sober alternative where focused thought and meaningful discussions could thrive. The collective experience, centered around a simple cup, quietly strengthened social bonds and enriched cultural understanding across diverse communities, becoming a cornerstone of social life. We have observed coffee's humble beginnings, from a legendary discovery to its early cultivation and the rise of transformative social spaces. This initial chapter reveals coffee's quiet power to inspire focus, foster community, and gently shape the contours of human interaction, setting the stage for its global journey. As the quiet narrative of coffee's gentle power unfolded within the Ottoman Empire, transforming social landscapes and fostering a unique blend of community and contemplation, we feel a subtle shift, a gentle current guiding us further across the vast and interconnected tapestry of history. We leave behind the bustling, incense-laden markets and the hushed, intellectual salons of Istanbul and Cairo, and embark upon a new leg of coffee's serene journey, its quiet yet profound migration to the European continent. This is a journey marked by curiosity, a touch of initial apprehension, and ultimately a widespread embrace that would forever alter the daily rhythms of life, always offering a gentle solace and a clearer mind. We invite you now to let your thoughts drift, much like the subtle aroma of brewing coffee carried on a gentle breeze, as we explore how this humble bean, steeped in legend and devotion, found its way into the hearts and homes of Europe. This exploration is designed to be a soothing experience, a quiet unfolding of facts, with no pressure to remember or retain, simply to absorb the calm essence of discovery. The first whispers of coffee's arrival in Europe are often attributed to the astute and adventurous Venetian merchants. These intrepid traders, accustomed to navigating the intricate routes of the Mediterranean, brought back not only exotic spices and silks from the East, but also tales of a dark, invigorating beverage. Venice, a city already famed for its vibrant commerce and cultural exchange, became the quiet gateway for coffee's entrance into the Western world around the early 17th century. It arrived not with a grand fanfare, but as a curious novelty, often presented first as a medicinal elixir, an intriguing tonic from distant lands. Imagine the quiet awe, perhaps even a touch of suspicion, with which this dark, aromatic brew was first regarded in Europe. It was a drink unlike any other, offering a gentle stimulation without the intoxicating effects of wine or ale, which were then common morning beverages. Initially, some viewed it with apprehension, associating it with the foreign customs of the Ottoman Empire and even fearing it as a bitter invention of Satan. These early doubts, however, were soon to be gently dispelled by a figure of immense spiritual authority, whose quiet approval would pave the way for coffee's widespread acceptance. Legend, always a gentle companion to history, tells us that Pope Clement VIII, around the year 1600, was urged by his advisors to ban this infidel drink. Yet his curiosity, a quiet spark of intellectual inquiry, led him to taste the brew himself. As the warm, rich liquid touched his lips, its captivating aroma filling the air, he reportedly declared, "Why, this Satan's drink is so delicious that it would be a pity to let the infidels have exclusive use of it. We shall baptize it." With this serene pronouncement, the Pope not only sanctioned coffee but, in a sense, blessed its journey into the heart of Christian Europe, easing fears and paving a path for its peaceful integration into daily life. This gentle blessing marked a pivotal moment, transforming coffee from a suspicious foreign import into a welcomed, even celebrated beverage. With the Pope's quiet endorsement, coffee's spread across Italy began to accelerate, often finding its first homes in pharmacies, where its perceived medicinal qualities were still emphasized. But it wasn't long before the social aspect so cherished in the coffee houses of the East began to blossom. The very first European coffee house is believed to have opened its doors in Venice in 1645, offering a quiet haven for conversation, reflection, and the enjoyment of this stimulating new drink. These early establishments, much like their Eastern counterparts, became spaces of calm contemplation, gentle discourse, and the quiet exchange of ideas. From Italy, coffee embarked on a steady, unhurried journey across the continent. To France it arrived with a flourish, introduced to the court of King Louis XIV in the mid-17th century by the Ottoman ambassador. Here it became a symbol of refinement and sophistication, a gentle luxury enjoyed by the aristocracy, slowly trickling down to the broader populace. The famous Café Procope, opened in Paris in 1686, became a renowned intellectual hub, a quiet sanctuary where great minds like Voltaire, Rousseau and Diderot gathered, their thoughts sharpened by the clear, gentle focus that coffee provided. These were not places of boisterous revelry, but rather schools of the wise, fostering calm debate and profound insights. In England, coffee found a particularly fertile ground. The first coffee house in London opened in 1652, and by the turn of the century hundreds dotted the city. These were truly remarkable institutions, often referred to as penny universities, because for the price of a penny, one could enjoy a cup of coffee and engage in intellectual discussions, read newspapers, and conduct business. Imagine the quiet hum of conversation, the rustle of papers, the gentle clinking of cups, as merchants, writers, politicians, and philosophers gathered, finding a calm and stimulating environment for their pursuits. It was in these very coffee houses that the foundations of institutions like Lloyd's of London, the famous insurance market, were quietly laid, born from the shared ideas and connections forged over countless cups of coffee. The coffee house offered a peaceful alternative to the taverns, fostering clarity of thought and respectful dialogue, contributing to a more sober and productive society. The journey continued eastward into Europe. In Austria, coffee's introduction is famously linked to the siege of Vienna in 1683. Legend credits a Polish-Ukrainian soldier named Jerzy Franciszek Kulczycki, who had lived in the Ottoman Empire and was familiar with coffee, for using captured bags of coffee beans left behind by the retreating Ottoman army to open Vienna's first coffee house. He reportedly sweetened the bitter brew with milk and honey, creating the prototype for the beloved Viennese coffee culture that still thrives today, a culture that embraces gentle indulgence and moments of quiet pleasure. The Viennese coffee house, with its plush seating and elegant ambiance, remains a quintessential space for calm reflection and unhurried conversation. The Dutch, with their vast maritime empire, played a particularly significant role in coffee's global expansion beyond the Arabian Peninsula. Recognizing the immense potential of this gentle stimulant, they began to cultivate coffee in their colonies. In 1699, the Dutch East India Company successfully introduced coffee plants to the island of Java in what is now Indonesia. This was a pivotal moment, as it broke the Arabian monopoly on coffee cultivation and marked the beginning of coffee's true global journey. The gentle climate and fertile soil of Java proved ideal, and soon coffee from this distant land began to flow back to Europe, diversifying the supply and further embedding coffee into the daily lives of millions. This quiet act of cultivation in a new land ensured that the soothing comfort of coffee would reach even more corners of the world. As coffee spread across Europe, it quietly brought about a profound cultural shift. The morning ritual, once often dominated by alcoholic beverages, slowly began to embrace coffee. This transition had a subtle yet significant impact on society, leading to a gentle increase in sobriety and mental clarity, particularly during the working hours. Coffee, with its invigorating yet calming properties, allowed for more focused work, deeper contemplation, and clearer thought, fostering an environment conducive to the Enlightenment's blossoming intellectual fervour. The coffee house became a symbol of this new era, a democratic space where people from all walks of life could gather, engage, and quietly contribute to the intellectual and social fabric of their communities. It offered a peaceful refuge, a place to unwind, to learn, and to connect without the pressures of formal settings. We observe how coffee, throughout its European journey, consistently served as a catalyst for connection and quiet productivity. It fostered communities, stimulated ideas, and provided a gentle warmth and clarity that became an indispensable part of daily existence. The subtle chemical dances within each bean, releasing their complex aromas and invigorating effects, silently shaped cultures and enriched lives, always offering a moment of calm focus in an increasingly complex world. From the quiet contemplation of Sufi mystics to the bustling intellectual debates of Parisian cafes, coffee has consistently offered a gentle hand, guiding humanity towards moments of shared experience and individual solace. It has proven itself to be more than just a beverage. It is a quiet companion, a facilitator of thought, and a silent weaver of social bonds. As we gently conclude this chapter of coffee's journey, tracing its serene path from the Middle East across the European continent, we are reminded of its enduring power to bring people together, to sharpen the mind, and to offer a moment of peaceful respite. The quiet narrative continues, and in our next exploration, we will observe how this beloved bean further extended its reach, crossing oceans to establish vast plantations in the New World, forever changing the global landscape of agriculture and commerce, and continuing its gentle mission to soothe and connect. For now, let us simply rest in the quiet appreciation of this remarkable journey, letting the facts gently settle, preparing us for the continued story of coffee's relaxing influence. As the gentle current of knowledge carried coffee from the ancient lands of the Arabian Peninsula and across the European continent, transforming social landscapes and sparking intellectual fervour, its journey was far from complete. The bustling coffee houses of London, Paris and Amsterdam, vibrant hubs of intellectual exchange and burgeoning commerce, had already cemented coffee's place as more than just a beverage. It was a catalyst for enlightenment, a silent companion to revolutionary ideas. Yet, even as its aroma mingled with the discourse of philosophers and the whispers of merchants, a new chapter was unfolding, a quiet yet profound migration that would see coffee embark on voyages across vast oceans, reaching new shores and taking root in fertile soils far from its original home. This is the story of coffee's expansion to the New World, a narrative of ambitious cultivation, burgeoning plantations, and its ultimate ascent to become a truly global commodity, a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring appeal of a simple bean. We invite you to settle deeper into this space of calm contemplation as we trace these oceanic paths, allowing the facts of this remarkable spread to unfold with gentle warmth. Imagine the vastness of the Atlantic, the slow, rhythmic sway of the ships, the quiet determination of those who believed in coffee's promise. There is no pressure to remember or retain every detail. Simply let the quiet narrative wash over you, a soothing companion as the world outside softens into night, much like the gentle steam rising from a freshly brewed cup. Feel the subtle shift from the familiar European landscapes to the unknown, exotic beauty of the tropics, a journey of discovery not just for the plant, but for humanity itself. The early 18th century marked a pivotal moment as the seeds of coffee's destiny began to travel westward, carried by human hands across the Atlantic. It was a journey of both scientific curiosity and colonial ambition, destined to transform the agricultural landscape of entire continents and reshape global economies. One of the most enchanting, though perhaps embellished, tales of this transoceanic voyage centres around a French naval officer, Gabriel de Clieu. We picture him, around 1723, a man driven by a quiet but fierce conviction, meticulously tending to a single coffee sapling. His brow would often be furrowed with concern, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of trouble, yet always returning to the delicate plant. It was carefully protected within a custom-made glass case, a miniature greenhouse against the elements, aboard a perilous journey to the French colony of Martinique in the Caribbean. De Clieu's inner world during that voyage must have been a crucible of hope and anxiety. He understood the immense value this small plant represented not just for his nation but for the future of agriculture. He envisioned verdant hillsides, bustling ports, and the rich aroma of coffee wafting through the tropical air. Every creak of the ship, every shift in the weather must have sent a tremor of fear through him. Legend whispers of shared water rations, a testament to the sapling's priority over even human comfort during desperate times. Imagine de Clieu, parched and weary, offering precious drops to the parched soil around the sapling, a silent prayer for its survival. We hear tales of fending off pirates, where the threat of plunder and violence loomed large, yet de Clieu's primary concern remained the fragile cargo in its glass sanctuary. His sheer determination, a quiet force against the vastness of the ocean and the dangers it held, was solely focused on ensuring this precious plant's survival. Whether entirely accurate or not, this quiet narrative captures the spirit of the era, the profound belief in coffee's potential, and the almost unimaginable lengths to which individuals would go to see it flourish in new lands, driven by a vision that stretched far beyond their own lifetimes. Upon its arrival in Martinique, after months of relentless vigilance, this single sapling, or perhaps a small collection of them, found a welcoming home. Declieux, undoubtedly exhausted but triumphant, would have overseen its careful planting, perhaps with his own hands, into the rich, dark earth. The tropical climate, with its abundant rainfall, consistent warmth, and fertile volcanic soil, proved to be an ideal nursery, a paradise perfectly suited for the coffee plant. From this initial planting, a testament to Declieux's unwavering dedication, coffee trees began to multiply with remarkable speed, their glossy dark green leaves shimmering in the Caribbean sun and their fragrant white blossoms releasing a delicate sweet perfume into the humid air, soon graced the hillsides of the island, transforming the landscape into an emerald tapestry. This gentle beginning in the Caribbean was a prelude to a much grander expansion. The visible success in Martinique, with its flourishing plantations and burgeoning harvests, quickly inspired neighbouring islands and territories to adopt coffee cultivation. Colonial administrators and ambitious planters, observing the prosperity coffee brought, recognised it as a valuable cash crop, a potential source of immense wealth and influence. Soon, islands like Guadeloupe, Saint-Domingue, present-day Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and Jamaica were transforming, their landscapes gradually adorned with meticulously arranged rows of coffee plants, stretching like green ribbons across the undulating terrain. The quiet hum of cultivation replaced the sounds of the wild, as forests gave way to ordered fields, all in pursuit of the aromatic bean. The sheer scale of this burgeoning cultivation was a testament to coffee's adaptability and the growing global demand. What began as a delicate transplant, a single hope cradled in a glass case, soon blossomed into an agricultural revolution that reshaped island economies and societies. These early Caribbean plantations, though significant in their own right, were merely setting the stage for an even more monumental shift, a quiet expansion that would soon sweep across a vast continent. From the islands, coffee's journey continued its quiet advance onto the vast South American continent, an expanse of diverse climates and boundless potential. We observe its introduction to Brazil, a nation that would, in time, become synonymous with coffee itself, its name whispered across continents alongside the fragrant beverage. The story here often points to Francisco de Melo Paleta, a Portuguese diplomat who, around 1727, is believed to have brought coffee seeds to the state of Pará, in northern Brazil. Paleta was a man of subtle charm and keen observation, tasked with a mission that required more than just direct negotiation. He understood the power of persuasion, the delicate art of diplomacy, and perhaps a touch of strategic romance. The narrative tells of a delicate mission, where Paleta, tasked with acquiring coffee plants from French Guiana, reportedly captivated the French governor's wife. In the hushed elegance of the governor's residence, amidst polite conversation and shared pleasantries, Paleta's charm was put to the test. He understood that a direct request for the highly guarded coffee plants would be met with refusal. Instead, he cultivated a connection, a subtle rapport that transcended mere diplomatic formality. The governor's wife, perhaps genuinely smitten, perhaps simply moved by Paleta's earnestness and vision, saw in him a kindred spirit. In a gesture of affection that would resonate through history, she secretly presented him with a bouquet of flowers, a beautiful, fragrant arrangement that concealed within its lush foliage hidden coffee seeds and cuttings. This quiet act of diplomacy, tinged with romance and a hint of intrigue, laid the foundation for an agricultural empire that would define Brazil for centuries. Brazil's expansive land, diverse microclimates, and incredibly fertile soils proved to be exceptionally hospitable to coffee. The conditions were perfect. A gentle warmth that bathed the landscape, ample sunlight that nourished the plants, and regular rainfall that provided a constant life-giving source of hydration. This natural bounty provided an environment where coffee trees could thrive on an unprecedented scale, far surpassing anything seen before. We witness the quiet transformation of vast tracts of land, particularly in the southeastern states like Minas Gerais, São Paulo, and Rio de Janeiro, into immense coffee plantations. This was a monumental shift from the so contained cultivation of Yemen's terraced highlands and the smaller, more manageable plots of Europe's colonial outposts. Here, in Brazil, coffee cultivation became an industry of truly vast proportions, a green sea stretching towards the horizon. The establishment of these vast plantations marked a profound turning point in coffee's history. It was no longer simply a precious commodity, a rare luxury, or a garden curiosity. It became an engine of economic growth, shaping the destiny of nations and altering the lives of millions. The gentle slopes of the Brazilian highlands, once wild and untamed, were meticulously cultivated, row upon row of coffee plants stretching as far as the eye could see, a testament to human labour and ambition. This methodical expansion was driven by the burgeoning demand in Europe, where coffee had firmly established itself as an essential part of daily life, and increasingly in the emerging markets of North America, where a new nation was finding its own identity, often over a cup of coffee. This era saw coffee move beyond being a luxury item, reserved for the wealthy elite, to becoming a staple for many, a daily ritual accessible to a wider populace. The sheer volume of coffee produced in these new agricultural powerhouses began to flood global markets, driving prices down and making coffee more affordable for the common person. No longer an extravagant indulgence, it became an everyday comfort, a morning necessity, a social lubricant. This accessibility in turn fueled even greater demand, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of cultivation and consumption that propelled coffee to unprecedented heights of global prominence. The enduring impact of coffee on global agriculture and commerce cannot be overstated. We see how it reshaped economies, particularly in Latin America, where countries like Brazil, Colombia, and later parts of Central America became deeply reliant on coffee exports. The gentle warmth of the sun on these vast plantations translated into economic warmth for entire regions, transforming sleepy villages into bustling towns and small ports into international trade hubs. Coffee became a primary source of revenue, funding infrastructure projects, supporting communities, and influencing international trade agreements and diplomatic relations. Shipping routes crisscrossed the globe, laden with sacks of green coffee beans, connecting distant lands and cultures through this quiet, aromatic commodity, a testament to its universal appeal. The transformation was not just economic, it was also cultural. As coffee became more widespread and affordable, its role in daily life deepened, intertwining itself with the fabric of society. It cemented its place as the beverage of choice for morning routines, providing a gentle awakening, for midday breaks, offering a moment of respite, and for evening conversations, fostering connection and camaraderie across continents. The quiet ritual of brewing and sipping coffee became a shared experience, transcending geographical boundaries and social strata. It fueled innovation in countless endeavours, inspired art and literature in its subtle way, and provided solace in countless homes and establishments worldwide. A constant companion through the triumphs and tribulations of daily life. We reflect on how this once wild berry, discovered by curious goats and cultivated by contemplative mystics in ancient lands, has journeyed through time and across oceans to become an integral part of our modern world. From a single sapling nurtured on a ship by a determined officer, to vast undulating plantations stretching across continents, coffee's story is one of persistent growth, quiet adaptation, and profound influence. It stands as a testament to the interconnectedness of our world, a gentle thread weaving together history, culture, and daily life, illustrating how a simple plant can inspire such monumental human effort and transformation. As we conclude this exploration of coffee's global expansion, we invite you to acknowledge the quiet power of its journey. Its enduring legacy is not just in the economic impact or the sheer volume of beans produced, but in the countless moments of peace, clarity, and connection it has fostered. It is in the quiet mornings, the shared laughter over a cup, the thoughtful conversations, and the solitary moments of reflection. Coffee, in its silent way, continues to be a gentle companion, a quiet catalyst for reflection and community, a soothing presence in our lives, from the ancient highlands of Ethiopia to the bustling cities of today. Let this understanding settle within you, a final, calming thought, as we prepare for the quiet stillness that awaits, perhaps with another perfect cup. As coffee journeyed across vast oceans and fertile lands, establishing roots in new continents, its role quietly transformed. From a treasured commodity, it blossomed into an indispensable daily ritual, a gentle thread woven into the fabric of countless lives. We observe how this once exotic beverage, now a global companion, began to offer more than just a stimulating lift. It offered a profound sense of calm, focus, and connection, subtly shaping the quiet moments of our days. The global expansion we witnessed in the New World, particularly the burgeoning plantations of Brazil, democratized coffee, making it accessible to a wider populace. This accessibility did not diminish its inherent magic, but rather diffused it, allowing its gentle warmth and captivating aroma to permeate homes, workplaces, and gathering spaces across the globe. No longer solely the purview of mystics or the elite, coffee became a shared experience, a quiet pleasure available to all who sought its comforting embrace. We invite you now to contemplate this evolution, allowing the gentle current of knowledge to carry you through the subtle ways coffee became a source of daily solace.